Hey, Emily, good afternoon. I'm sorry that it took me a little bit of time to get back to you. I'm going to go over three different things with you today. I want to make sure that you understand what's going on with the hockey data analysis, where you can find the files, how you can do those functions, and then also making sure that you understand what's going on with Competition University. So I'll try to go relatively fast, but also make sense. Excuse me. So when I'm in my data analysis activity for hockey and I've got my questions, I'm going to find the spreadsheets that I need. I'm going to find that underneath of the settings. There are two different spreadsheets here for you, a hockey data and a safety data. In your questions, it's going to explain to you that you want to use the hockey spreadsheet for the first three questions. It's asking you the oldest hockey player. The Flyers are looking to do something with team members just from the United States, and then also to do an average formula. So I'm going to come over here to my hockey spreadsheet, and when I take a look at my hockey spreadsheet, I'm going to mostly do a lot of pretty basic stuff here. So one of the things I can do to sort in any kind of Google Sheets is I can actually come right on up here to the top. If I go to column C, I click on that, I can sort it A to Z or Z to A. And when I do that, it's going to help me be able to answer some of these questions. So right over here, I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to be able to see that it's sorted the difference between Canada and the United States. One of the other things I'm going to need to work with is the birthdays. So you can see right here in the middle where my birthdays are, I'm going to be asking you a question, who is the oldest person? So I'm going to sort this, and I can find right up here that my oldest hockey player is going to be Brian Gianta, I guess is how you pronounce that. So mostly what you're going to be doing in here is sorting. The formula that we're going to ask you to do is take a look. Let's see. We're actually going to ask you to do an average, the average BMI for the hockey players. So for the hockey players, their BMI is going to be in column L right over here. Okay, so it's going to be in column L right over here. I'm actually going to insert my formula over here in column P. So the way I insert a formula in any kind of Excel or Google Sheets is I have to start out with an equal sign. When I start out with an equal sign, that's going to tell the spreadsheet program that I want to do some kind of mathematical calculation and not just enter text. So I'm going to start out with an equal sign, and I'm going to put in the formula for average. So what you're going to notice is that Sheets or Excel is automatically going to kind of guess what you actually wanted to do. Now I'm going to do something pretty basic. So I just want to do average. And then we almost always need to use parentheses, just like in regular math, so that we can tell the computer what we want it to average or to add or to multiply or whatever the case is. So I'm going to notice that I did a left parenthesis. I'm then going to take my mouse and I'm going to come over here and select all of the different numbers. I'm going to click and drag down all of the BMIs of all of the players that are here. All right, when I come all the way down, my very last one is going to be in row 99. And then you can see that my formula is still over here. And just like in regular math, I need to tell the computer or tell the calculator that I'm done. So I end that with a right parenthesis and I hit enter. One of the things that is going to be really cool for you is that, oops. Oh, I think I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that. Let me do that again for you. So we're going to start out with equals, the word average, left parenthesis. I'm going to highlight from column L4 all the way down to L99. Going to click and drag down. Oops. And it's not going to throw me off even if I had more, just because I'm trying to average and those didn't have any numbers. Close it with the right parenthesis. And when I hit enter, oh, here it is up here. Okay, so I'm going to notice that my average is going to be right up here. I'm going to actually click and drag this over so I can see it a little bit more. One of the things that happens in Google Sheets or Excel is that it might be formatted for you so that it gives you all these decimal points. We don't really care about that. So what we can just do is come on up here to our toolbar. And when we come up here, we can actually select decrease decimals, and then that's pretty cool because that can get you all the way down to that. So if we come over, then our average BMI is actually for our hockey players is going to be 32. So that should go over what you need to do for the hockey information. We're now going to switch over to our safety data information. On our questions, let's come on down and see what's going on. So it's going to ask you which plant had the most expensive and also which had the most common incident. Name a safety measure. We're going to be doing that in the safety data. We're going to be looking at our incident type, and we're also going to be looking at our plant location. And you can just do those again by a pretty basic sort is how you're going to be able to do that. All right, but in the last one, it is going to ask you about an average again. So we're going to do that formula equals average, and then it says you can insert cells. All right, let me just show you real quick how you can do that. So if I come on over and I want to do an average, so I'm going to come on over here to column O. I'm going to start out with an equal sign, use the word average again, a left parenthesis, and then let's just say I wanted to average this row of numbers, highlight, right parenthesis, and there you go. It's asking me if I want to autofill. It doesn't really matter, but that's how you can end up with that answer. So hopefully that's going to help you out for your two different things that you needed between your safety data and between your hockey data. So let's now come on over to Competition University. In Competition University, I believe one of the things that's maybe throwing you off is that you don't know for sure where to find your password. In the assignment, it's going to link you to this login file, and I'm going to find your class right here, Lil Cyber Intro 4, and your name is going to be right here. So you're going to be logging in as a student, Matthew DeLallo, and then the password is 1DeLallo. There's no spaces in here, so I'm then going to come on over. I can find my instructions for how to get there right here at the top. All right, I'm going to come on over to the software program, and for me to log in, this is going to just log me in as myself, so let me just fix that for you. So I'm going to enter 1 Matthew DeLallo. Please notice that I didn't do any spaces. And now for my password, it's going to be 1 DeLallo with no space, and I go ahead and log in. Okay, so at this time, I'm going to know that I'm logged in correctly because right up here, it's going to show me as 1 Matthew DeLallo. I believe the rest of the instructions are pretty clear on what you need to do, but it's going to walk you through DECA prep track, and a couple of those different things that you need to do. So I would say a lot of times what people's biggest challenges is that they don't realize that all of this is run together, and they think they need to put a space in, or they're also trying to put in their own name, and we just do it a little different for this. Okay, the reason why we do it a little different for this is it's a very expensive software, so we only buy so many site license is why we do that. So please reach out to me if you are still having any questions about any of the hockey analysis or anything with Competition University. Have a great weekend. See ya.